Joining us to crunch the numbers is CPA and market analyst Dan Geltrude. Dan, good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these highlights here of this $4.8 trillion. It would increase military spending. As you can see, it would have $2 billion for the border wall, and the deficit would go down from $966 billion from an estimated $1 trillion in 2020. As you heard, there's a lot of criticism about this. There's an article in the Washington Examiner that says Trump's budget shows why we're doomed. And in this article specifically, it talks about how this is going to have to lean heavily on economic growth that will remain strong for the next 12 years or so. Do you agree with all of the criticism that this is getting?
Well, when you look at those highlights you just had on the screen, Jillian, you could tell the first two items are going to be non-starters with the Democrats. So as far as whether this budget really has a chance in Congress, the answer is it's dead on arrival. There's no way that there's going to be any compromise to what's there. So what ultimately I believe is going to happen is that there will be temporary spending measures put into place between now and through the end of the election cycle, and then we're going to see how it falls out as far as who's the president and what the makeup of Congress is going to be, because unless the party of the White House is the same party that's in Congress, there's really very little chance that you're going to have compromise. What will happen, as we've seen in the past, is that both sides will spend more and more and more, and that will be the compromise.
Yeah, especially in an election year. I don't think anybody really wants to fight too hard on this kind of stuff. Let's look at a tweet from Nancy Pelosi. The budget is a statement of values. Once again, the Trump budget makes it painfully clear how little the president values the good health, financial security, and well-being of America's hardworking families. Obviously, this budget calls for cuts to things like, Medicaid, food stamps, traditional things. Republican presidents like to go after entitlements. What about the values on the left, though, and what they value with their budgets? What do you have to say for that?
It's very interesting because when you're talking about a budget, now all of a sudden we're creeping into values. I'm an accountant, so let me tell you how I see this. We are bringing in more tax revenues than we've ever brought in before, but yet we continue on a path of about $1 trillion per year in deficits. So I don't know what values that says, other than we are completely reckless and financially irresponsible. And that is more of a danger than anything else that the Democrats are talking about. Money is cheap right now, so there's an incentive for the government to continue to borrow. It's a very, very dangerous path we're on.
And the Republicans are just as guilty as the Democrats on this one. Sad to say, the last few years, they are no longer fiscally responsible. Dan, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Good to see you, Dan.
Thank you.